Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ian is a Weirdo. Put a little neon yellow in my brows just for shits and giggles. So today I'm going to be working on Packers, and more Packers. I have this brand new shirt from my wife. It looks kind of like he's grabbing my boobs, which is a little weird, whatever. Beetlejuice sitting on a a headstone, whatever. And it is very cool. It came from Old Navy. Usually I get my graphic tees from Walmart. Like, they're the best price. They have a really wide selection, whatnot. But my wife went to Old Navy, and this shirt is so soft. Oh my gosh! I'm like, shirts aren't exactly that soft when they come from Walmart, generally. So it's not that they're like rough. They're just not like this soft. So no shade on Walmart because they provide most of my shirts. So the theme of today is Beetlejuice, although I do have my Bite Me hat. I found it in my trunk because I was cleaning out my car because I was like, I'm going to trade it in. And I found this hat and I was like, I remember buying it thinking it was cool. And then like the hashtag I thought was stupid, so I never wore it. So, but now I'm like, I'll wear it. I like to Bite Me. It still holds. I think I bought this hat like 11 or 12 years ago. Like, that's how long ago I've had this hat, and I've worn it. This is like my first time wearing it. My hair is bright yellow underneath here. Emulate Ian's hot style. He buys at Walmart, Hot Topic, and Old Navy. I was like, who is like clocking me right now? And it's my wife. Oh my gosh. I love you so much. You are my sunshine and making life better. So yes, I do. Do I shop at Target? Oh, I do shop at the Target. The men's section shirts are really good. Yeah, they're really good. How could I forget? Thank you for reminding me, my bae. My bee. So today I am working on a lot of Packers. I have a couple orders that came in. So let me kind of tell you where we're going, the landscape. They take me about 2 to 3 hours to finish, like, completely. So we're not going to be here that long. I hope. We'll see. Okay, so let's see. So I have 4 Packers that I need to work on. I have finished one, this 3-inch rainbow stripe. I think it is probably the cutest Packer I've ever made. You can't tell me shit, basically, about how cute this is, because I don't know. I changed the order of the colors, and it just really is working for me. So, good job, you. So the next one, ship by September 22nd. Okay, I think we can ship that out tomorrow. Then this one is a 5-inch trans stripe, and I am on the shaft, which is the part that goes the fastest, because it really doesn't involve reading a pattern. It's just going around and around and around. And then you have to do some detail work at the end. But this is the first one where I've done the personalization. I think I talked about personalization in my last live, where I keep on reading my wife's message, and I'm like, emulate Ian's hot style. And you bought this shirt for me, babe. Like, anyways, but so uh, so this is the first time I've done personalization, and the personalization I chose. Hey, Winter, welcome in. Melanie has already christened the chat. So this is the first time I've done personalization, and the personalization is about the fullness of the Packer. Because I started to think maybe there are people like me who don't like a really full Packer because of their anatomy. So I wanted to accommodate that. It was really difficult to find a way around Etsy's, like, once you write your variations, you can't write more. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So this is a medium fullness, which is kind of my standard. Then I have one, the next one is a 7-inch cream color, and it is heavy, which is most of that bulk is going to go into the scrotum, so that it creates a large bulge. And 7 inches is pretty large, so yeah, it's going to be a big one. And then I have a 7-inch Rainbow 3 medium fill, and they said please, so that's nice. So Rainbow 3 is my psychedelic color from Sugar and Cream. It's in their ombre line. There's an edit button on your category, but you have to edit it from there, not create a new one. Yeah, see, I want to create a new one, and it won't let me. So let me measure out my my thing, because I think so. I have 3 colors left, and I have 5 inches just from where I chose to separate the colors and do the section where I will do the tab. So I have 5 inches and 3 colors. So I divided 5 by 3, and I got 1 2/3. So I just wanted to be just under 2 inches, which this is the perfect size. So now we're going to go back to pink. I'm going to get some skeezers. I have the coolest shirt on in the world. Winter, look at it. Look at it, Winter. I believe you can have up to 2 different settings for categories, no? So you used to be able to have more, so maybe that's the problem. I don't know why I'm waving this at you like Evan Peters in a American Horror Story. No, so so you used to be able to have more, and I don't know if that's true or not, but all my old listings I can have more than that, so I don't really know. All I know is I've got beef with Etsy, and I don't eat beef. So stupid. I hate myself. I think they might have reduced the number. Yeah, that's just like, I don't know why, but whatever. Just to make my life harder, I suppose. So I am drinking out of my Beetlejuice cup, or planning to drink out of it once it is not 1 million degrees. Turns out boiling water is hot. I'm drinking Winter Wake Up, which is, as you may know, my favorite tea. It is from Trader Joe's. Let's give it a little sippy sippy. That is hot, but that is good. Just like me. No, just kidding. No. Evil. So nothing has changed. I did get a phone call, I guess, from the Massachusetts people. Boiling water is hot, yes. Sometimes I have to remind myself of simple things, Winter. Get off my case. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, I think I got a call from the Massachusetts place, but I was also like in between naps. I was like, so I stayed up till 6 a.m. and then I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then I went back to sleep. I think I was supposed to do something with Mel today, but I forgot, so I feel terrible like a bad spouse, but I can only beat myself up so much because this happens like every single day. I'm terrible. But anywho, so I think it sounds like, I think they just told me that my insurance was accepted, which, that's cool, but like, there's other factors at play. This place seemed, I don't want to get my hopes up because like my hopes have been dashed, quite a few times. But this place seems the most like with it. Like they said things like, in the past, our trans clients have blanked, and like, so they've had trans clients, like they have experience with trans people, which I'm like, thank fucking God. And they're like, so they have 2 beds per room, which I've always hated. I know it saves space and it's more, but like, it's still like in treatment, like people are fucking going nuts, like left and right. Like, they have a bad day, it just ruins everything, and then they have a roommate that they have to deal with. No. Um, and you get some weird shit when you start getting people rooming together. Like, you really do, in my experience. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable being, so like their default is to, if I have to room with someone, is to room with someone of the same assigned gender at birth, which I don't feel comfortable with. I don't want to, I have roommate, so in a treatment center, ew. Yeah, it's so much worse. I mean, not to discredit how horrible your roommate at home has been, but like, it's so much worse because people are at their worst. Like, people are literally at rock bottom and they are there, and they're seeking help, maybe willingly, maybe not willingly, and they are, if they're, like, I have sleeping problems. Like, I don't sleep during normal hours. So, what does that do for a roommate? That's really disruptive for a roommate. So, anyways, so like, I was like, if you put me in there with a woman, like, it, might make um, her feel very uncomfortable. I also don't really want to be in the room with a woman. Like, I don't feel comfortable with that. Um, but I also don't really want to be in the room with a man. So, like, can you give me a solo room, please? But they already were on top of that. And they were like, with our trans clients, they're kind of our first priority to have solo rooms. And I was like, yes. So this program in Massachusetts seems like the most with it. So it's kind of a two-parter, which I find very weird. So they're like, oh, we recommend 2 weeks in residential, which that's like no time at all. Like, you spend a week and a half just getting acclimated. So like, what's the point? Like, the general idea of residential is medication balancing, and also just keeping you safe, by having like eyes on you, or available eyes on you 24/7. And so 2 weeks is really not a long time, and I kind of expressed that to the intake person, and he was like, yeah, we don't usually like have a lot of people in here for 2 weeks. Most people are in here for 4, and even then I was like, 4 seems like low number, because every time I've been in residential, it's been like 3 months. And I've seen residential treatment centers that are 6 months or 9 months. So 2 weeks seems pretty like, what? That's weird. And then they want me to go to a PHP, which is partial hospitalization program. And that's basically residential. You do all of the courses and like classes and groups that you would have in residential, but you get to go home at the end of the day. But being not in that area, you have to deal with housing. So they'll put you up in an apartment or something like that. And then you're like lonely for more than half the day. And you're just like, okay, what am I gonna do? So they want me to do that for 6 weeks. And I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like, you know what? Like, I don't know if I want to put my life on hold for like, I don't know, until I get let down again, with all of this. Oh shit, I don't have this light on. Boom. Um, yeah, I just don't know if I like have it in me to like get let down again, and like potentially burn another bridge that I can't seek treatment with when things are even worse, because things are just getting worse. Someone said something the other day that I need to research, because they said that bipolar is degenerative. Um, okay. I'm not seeing any like keywords. You can have brain damage from I mean, it does change your brain chemistry. That's kind of the fact of the matter with bipolar. I know that there's a lot of treatments. But I'm not really seeing any evidence to back that up. I know that this is a site for um, this is a site for a medication that I've actually been on, but it's describing bipolar disorder. So I don't really trust a lot of the things that are said on this website. Because okay, so like Braylar is good for mixed episodes, which is good for me because I do have those. Um, uh, yeah, I'm not seeing anything about degenerative. If you know anything, let me know. But I've only heard that once in my whole life. I know that my mental health, my bipolar, has deteriorated, but I do believe that it was caused by um, either my thyroid um, fucking giving up the ghost and just ending it, or a small concussion. Now, the thing is, in my experience, and Mel has had like 5 concussions, so she's kind of the expert. Um, uh, that's not good. That's a lot of concussions. It is a serious brain injury, even if it's just subtle. So, because many multiple concussions or major concussions can change your brain structure. So it is very serious. But I had a minor concussion. It was the stupidest like conditions ever. But I got a minor concussion in the like kind of before everything went to shit for me. Maybe it was 2019. I think 2019 was the year. So my thyroid bit the dust at in the summer of 2019, and in the fall of 2019, I got my concussion. And ever since then, my bipolar has been completely out of control and untreatable, basically. So I I uh, mine has been degenerative, but I think there's a cause for it because the timing is just too coincidental. In my professional opinion, I'm gonna stuff this. I didn't have my stuffing before when I started this, so yeah, so I don't think it's degenerative, but I do know that bipolar, as you go on, it can change the structure of your brain and how your neurotransmitters work. So I guess that's degenerative in the sense of I'm trying to like validate this person's like claim, and I literally have no reason to. Um, But yeah, so I'm just stuffing. Make sure I get in all the nooks and crannies. And when you are stuffing, you want to make sure that you get the pieces nice and small. And you also want to make sure with the packers, for instance, you have like a hinge point where you're going to add a tab, and you want to make sure that you don't put too much stuffing there, pretty much no stuffing there, because it makes it hard for it to bend and also create the shape of what you want it to. So I'm really trying for you, Winter, to not make it genital related for you. So if I'm not doing a good job, let me know. I'll try harder. But yeah, I mean, it's hard when you're making a fake genitals to not talk about genitals, but I'm trying. Oh my gosh, literally no one knows about RFID, which is okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure. I always want to, make sure you're comfortable. Literally no intake person knew about RFID, which I was like, how? How is that a thing? And then I've got to describe it to them, but then I also know that having an eating disorder potentially takes me off the list for some of these places. So I've got to downplay it as well, which is kind of weird. Like I have to be like, basically, I don't eat the food I don't like, which is everybody, right? But like, that's not what RFID is. Like, like I was like, there's like, some food trauma involved. And I was like, but I already have other trauma. So it's like kind of all intertwined. It is interesting indeed. I just kind of wish I never got this diagnosis, honestly. I didn't even really get an RFID diagnosis. They just told me that I had an unspecified one because they, uh, like, they, okay, thank you for letting me know. So you can talk about it as much as you want. I don't really want to talk about genitals that much. Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm pretty into that. I'm pretty into genitals. Seeing genitals and interacting with them triggers me. So if I show a packer on screen, is that okay as long as I'm not like, look at all the details, or like, is that like, you would prefer not to have that? Just let me know. I want to make you comfortable. You are my guest, and so it is my job to make you more comfortable. Oh my god, Winter, prepare yourself. This is the hair dye that I bought. So it already looks like super promising, right? It looks like pea soup. And then it's got this plastic tab. And oh my gosh, if that's not cauldron green, it's gonna fucking tip out. If that's not cauldron, bubble, boil, and toil, trouble, whatever, yeah, it's bright and it is. So I was like, so it was $25, but like a thing of Manic Panic was like $21. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna get like the stuff that is made by a celebrity hairstylist. Why not? I got it on Amazon. So it's the X Mondo. It's made by this guy named Brad Mondo. So that's what the name is. And it's the color, and the color is lime green, and it is so bright. I haven't used it yet, but also this thing is huge. Like look at it on my face. It's so big. It's like two things of Manic Panic. It's 8 fluid ounces. How much is Manic Panic? Just for reference, because I think everyone kind of knows what size Manic Panic is. 4 ounces. It literally is 2 Manic Panics. There's not a huge range of color. I think he only released this line like maybe in the past 2 years. So I think there might be like close to 10 colors, but like this one, I was like, that is calling my name, and I needed a bright green to raise my soul up. Man, I should have dyed it green for Beetlejuice. Damn it. But whatever. And there's always time to go green. But this is huge. I was not expecting it. So if you're looking for value, surprisingly, the celebrity line is where it is. I know if you go into like Sally's or wherever sells Manic Panic, it is cheaper than Amazon, but not much. I mean, like it's still like, you know, it's probably in the realm of like $13, so it's about equal to get that. And this color looks so good. And I've used Electric Lizard by Manic Panic, and it only works when I have yellow as a base and I put the green on top. It doesn't last a long time, but it is still very pretty. But like it's just kind of here and gone, so I'm really interested in seeing how long that lasts. Yeah, I'm super excited. Okay, seeing a packer is okay, but I'd have a problem making one myself or touching one because it goes. Okay, yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry to ask you so many questions, but like I said, I just want you to feel comfortable. That is my ultimate goal here. I want my friends to feel comfortable. Why are you just standing there? Can you see my dog? He's just like he's just standing there. Oh, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Do you want your necklace? You want your necklace? You know, pumpkin spice puppy? Oh, that's nice. You look very nice on that. He's ridiculous. Can you not get behind me? You got behind me before. Mm, mm, it's really hard to roll. There's like very little space. Do you want to go under the desk? Okay. Well, that's a weird turn of events. Are you trying to go around me under the desk? Are you just trying to stay under the desk? You're a very weird dog. Very weird dog indeed. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if you have any panic disorders or anxiety disorders. But I am feeling very like vibraty and very like I think my anxiety is like bubbling up, and I I feel like my skin is crawling, and I wanted to go get a tattoo with my dad today, but I slept all day and he never responded. So we're both a little flaky, to be honest. But um, so I wanted to get a tattoo, and I wanted to get like a sensory tattoo. So I was thinking of getting a tattoo, maybe the size, like maybe like 3 inches long, maybe about the width of like a piece of like Scotch tape or something. And I wanted to get like a color gradient, maybe like blue to like my skin color to green or something like that. And something that I could like just like when I am anxious, I can like rub my skin and feel like, okay, we're going to green. Okay, we're going to blue. Okay, we're going to green. It's like things like that. I was trying to think of like a anti-anxiety tattoo. Um, and I was like maybe like numbers in a spiral, but then I was like no, because like sometimes my brain like my numbers just like boop, 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 boop. So I was like okay no. But then I kind of thought about like what if I actually was inspired by those calm strips. They're like textured strips that you can put on the back of your phone, which I've never been able to because I use like a tactical phone that like can stand up. Also, it's Halloween colors. Also, you can cover your camera, which I like. It's pretty cool. Never knew I needed it before, but it's pretty cool. So yeah, so there's no place for a calm strip, but I've been paying attention to calm strips over the past couple of years with an outline, and you'll immediately be able to feel the outline. Yeah, exactly. And I'm tempted to be like, I'm not looking for scarification. I'm not looking for like that amount of like raised scar. But I'm like kind of like, can you like scar me like on the edge? Like, can you like bear down harder on the edge to like give me texture? But I don't know if I really want to ask that. I don't know if I would make someone feel uncomfortable asking that. So who knows? Tattoo artists are weird. I'm just gonna put it out there. Like, I've never met a tattoo artist that like just made any fucking sense. Like they're just weird. They're never like, well, some of them are mean. But like generally they're just like over it. That it seems like they hate it and they hate you for being there. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry I exist. So yeah, so I've always had kind of like a weird. The only tattoo artist that I ever had that was like more cool did my feet tattoo. Just like I feel like vibes from like tattoo artists for like, they're just so like indifferent and like aloof or something. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just perceive them differently. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so the one tattoo artist I had, like, because I want to talk while I'm getting my tattoo because it will distract me, and a lot of tattoo artists do not like to talk because it distracts them from their work, which I understand, but like I'm also trying to get through it with the past three tattoos I've gotten. I've had panic attacks during, and I've had to like walk out, take a walk, calm down. Um, so I think that like I might annoy them with my talking, which is interesting because like normally I'm not that much of a talker. I know I talk here a lot, but like once I go back into my shell, I'm just kind of like chilling, quiet. Um, I'm not like super quiet, but you know, Melanie does most of the talking in the relationship. Um, so let's see how long this is. I think it needs another bow, and I'm gonna measure it anyways. Hey, Mary. Oh, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. Always means a lot. I've got a couple videos scheduled to come out over the next week, so keep an eye out for those. Should be some good things. And I got some crazy makeup on in a lot of them, so whoopsies. Um, so I'm going to measure from the fold. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I need to do at least one more. But yes, today's all about Beetlejuice. We watched an episode of like gingerbread Halloween wars, whatever. There's too many cooking shows. I'm sorry, too many baking shows, too many cooking shows. Um, I can't keep track of them. It's frustrating like how many there are, because like some of them are really good and some of them are so terrible, and you're just like, please just stop. Please just stop what you're doing. It's not. This isn't the path for you. This is not the way. So let me drink some TT. Um, but let's see. Yeah, so we watched this gingerbread one, and the theme was Beetlejuice, which was cool. And honestly, the gingerbread one was cooler than I thought. I didn't grow up with like gingerbread houses or cookies or anything like that. That wasn't really what we did as a family. So like it just kind of like it's a little bit foreign to me. Um, but uh, but Mel's family did, and they did like competitions and stuff like that. Um, which like I can't even imagine. So this competition, and also they had a guest judge on their first episode of Elvira, and of course I'm gonna check that out. That's a no-brainer. Okay, so okay, we're gonna switch to blue. So normally I like to pull from the center, but I think I'm gonna pull from the outside. Did you talk about Elvira, or am I crazy? Well, you might be crazy, but I did talk about Elvira. Um, so Elvira was a guest judge on this gingerbread Halloween war thing. And, so she's making all these, quips and whatnot. And she just, is amazing. One, she's beautiful. Two, and I cannot for the life of me figure it out how they've engineered her boobs to just, be up all the time. But that's just me. So I'm sure a lot of people wonder that. Maybe it's not just me. So I'm gonna actually pull from the outside on this one because it's small, and I have uh, paper in there that's barely holding on. So I'm just gonna do it from the outside. Um, okay. Sheer Powders of Goth Goddess, it does it. Yeah, she's amazing. So yeah, she's incredible. My wrist is like crank, 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 crank. My hand has been hurting a lot lately. I think it's because I've been crocheting a lot more, trying to keep up for the potential that I'll be going to treatment or something like that. But yeah, it's just been my wrist has just not been here for it. And I want to get all these packers done. I did an Etsy sale in my shop because I was like, oh, I'll just make some money before I leave. I don't actually know if what I did makes any sense at all. I think it's actually counterproductive to me slowing down my Etsy shop for reasons of going to seek medical treatment. But I did it. So I did 15% off everything. I felt like I could afford to do that with my shipping rate going down. So I'm happy about that. I did tell people that it might take longer. So if I do end up in treatment, that I kind of have a little bit of a buffer. I also am going to, if I go to treatment, I'm going to limit my colors so that I don't need to have all of these colors of cotton. I'll probably keep it to skin tones and the rainbow variegated tones. So probably just have those as options. Yeah, so yeah, my life is a shit show. But yeah, yeah, I want to get that tattoo. I want to get my hand tattooed as well. And it just kind of comes down to when I can get it done. I had a tattoo artist that was interested, said they could work within my budget, but then also never contacted me back. They seemed really nice, so maybe their schedule just booked up. But I can't remember the name of the shop, so I can't remember. I gave them my business card and put my phone number on it, and they texted me, and I texted them a picture of what I wanted. and because I want to get a Medusa head tattooed on my hand. I want like the snakes kind of coming down on the fingers just a little bit, but I just want it to be like kind of like a you know, a beautiful Medusa. Um, Close to my desk smells like burnt chlorine, and I can't forget. Oh, that smell, like, I don't know what about that description of that smell kind of was, like, so visceral for me, but I was like, "Oh gosh." Um, yeah, so I've kind of been like, what if I just, like, work on my patterns and, like, I'm just, like, work, and then I don't need treatment? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I've been very resistant to, like, anything anymore. It's gross. Um, so I just feel like I've been like very resistant to like getting help anymore because I've had so many doors closed in my face. And I know that's not like the attitude I should have, but like this thing about my brain is I never know when it's gonna calm down. I never know when it's gonna flare up. And I just can't afford to actually lose my shit. Like I can't afford to like get in my car and like drive and hurt someone. Like I can't do that. And like, I don't have like visions of like hurting someone, but like I mean like I'm dangerous behind the wheel when I'm manic or something like that. And like I can't afford to like become unhinged. Like someone could get hurt. So like I'm really like, I don't know what to do when like all these doors are shut in my face and no one wants to help me because I'm trans or because I have borderline. It used to be that borderline was the reason why they shut me out, but now it's because I'm trans. That's like they're just like looking for reasons to not help people. And like what kind of system is that? Like fuck off. I am extremely irate about that. Um um I thought of like a potential drag name. I gotta work it out a little bit in my brain before I reveal it, but I kind of I'm kind of digging it. So yeah, I don't know what they expect trans people to do. they they put us in like such a dangerous position of like taking care of our mental illnesses and taking care of our mental health related to our transness, and it is um more than unfair, it's unsafe. It is dangerous. And for people to not see the danger that they present by not helping out trans people, like I know I've gone on rants like almost every day that I've gone live. I know I've been on tons of rants, but like I really just like I can't understand. Like I don't care what your views are on whether or not you consider me a man or not. I could give a shit. Do whatever you want. That's your problem, not mine. However, not letting me seek mental health therapy, like mental health treatment, because you don't perceive me as a man or you can't accommodate my needs, which aren't that. I'm not asking for that much. Really, I'm not. I've seen people in treatment ask for so much more, and get it. So don't fucking tell me that because I'm transgender, I am somehow a huge inconvenience for you. Because I'm the one trying to fucking stay alive. Literally stay alive. I'm fucking over it. I am irate. I am done. I am I literally just fucking have no patience for it anymore. So sorry to go on that rant. It's this hat. it turns me into like the little emo kid that I was before. So yeah, I'm having a real problem with that. And when I have a problem like this, I tend to just like be like, you know what, fuck treatment. Like if it's not gonna help me, then I'll fucking do something else myself. Whatever that may be. And maybe it's self-sabotaging, maybe it's hurting myself, and maybe it's this, maybe it's that. But like, if you don't want to fucking help me, I'll show you that I have a problem. I will prove to you that I'm mentally ill enough to be taken care of. And that is a really dangerous place for me to be, but that's how my brain works. I'm sorry. So, sorry to rant. I keep on saying that, and then I rant more. I hope you find that chlorine smell. Isn't this mug like amazing? I think I got it from Spirit. Yeah, I got it from Spirit last year, and I'm just like, I love it. So usually this is Mel's mug. So Mel and I, it's more Mel. Mel is a creature of habit, um, but usually she uses that mug. So I didn't even shoot. I was like, oh man, I wish I had a, because I was gonna use my Hocus Pocus water cup, and I was like, man, I wish I had a Beetlejuice water cup. And she's like, well, we do have a Beetlejuice mug, and I was like, what Beetlejuice mug? And then I was like, oh yeah, the one that you use all the time. Because usually when she uses that, I use one of my Nightmare Before Christmas mugs. So I forgot about it, but yes, we do have a Beetlejuice mug. There were these really gorgeous mugs, and they were really simple and elegant. They were at Marshall's, and they were black and white striped, so they looked kind of like this. They were more like larger teacups, but they had like that like rounded bottom, and then they had like a scalloped edge, and the edge had gold on them, so they were black and white striped teacups with gold on the edge, and I was like, these are fucking pretty. But Mel was not. She was like, these aren't as like Halloweeny as I wanted, and I was like, yeah, that's cool. Gotta go, roommate home. Understand. Good luck. So yeah, so yeah, we ended up not getting them, but that's one thing I think I regret not getting, because they were so pretty. Yeah, let's see. So it needs to be about 5 inches, and you can see that I'm still working up the blue, but it will kind of bend over like this, and so you won't see the whole trans pride flag, but you'll see all the colors of the trans pride flag, which is better than nothing. I gotta make the the so the only reason this design works is because of the scrotum, and the tab, because it counterbalances the phallus, the shaft. So if you didn't have this and you just had kind of like a snake in your pants, then it would slip out immediately, and it wouldn't conform to your body. It would just kind of slip out of your boxers, and that's not what anybody wants, right? These things are made to stay put. I'm really happy that I could do a little sale and get some more orders, but also just help some people who maybe my original price wasn't as affordable. So just being like a little bit more affordable for them. I need to see how many units I have in stock, because I try not to. I go between having like 5 and then having just like 1 in stock. It just kind of depends on how busy I am. I try not to have too many on the burner, because like I could potentially, like one day I got like 3 orders in one day, and that was a little like, okay, well, it's like it I give 2 weeks to do a packer, which is plenty of time to do a packer. But you have to, when you get 3 in one day, they all have to go out by the same day. So you know, and I procrastinate a lot, so I have to be mindful of like when they have to go out. So yeah, I'm I guess I'm just like ranting on the soapbox now. So yeah, so I mean I'm thankful for every order I get. Um, but let me finish this round, and then we'll see if this is the right length. Okay, pull it tall. Looks quite a bit longer than what we last measured at. The great thing, like I would highly suggest, like if you are a crocheter and you don't have a flexible measuring tape like this, I really don't know what you're doing, because like this is something that I use all the time. Um, it's just really important whether you're sewing, whether you're crocheting, whether you're knitting, anything like that. It is importante. So please, for the love of God, get one. Okay, so we have reached the size that we want. So I'm going to stuff. So for my packers, I reach the size that I want. So if I do 5 inches, I make sure that I'm about 5 inches. You know, it can be like off a couple, um, you know, off a little bit, but it's you know, like within one stitch of being um, 5 inches or whatever. And then I create the head of the penis, and I that adds some height, because I have learned through practice that I really like the look of like a concave convex. I think it's convex. I think I'm using the word wrong. Sorry. I just like the shape of a 3D head. I don't want it to just be like flat at the end, because that's not how things actually look most of the time. So I usually go over my anticipated length, or my requested length, just to get a 3D. But I never know exactly like how tall it's going to be, so I don't want to cheat someone out of like some of the length that they wanted. So I go a little bit over, but usually it's less than half an inch. I love this face. Like it's just like sticking out. Like, kind of looks like a cat. Like just. So like I spoke about earlier, I like to use a light. Most of my projects will use a light colored polyfill, because it just hides beneath the crochet project much better. So uh, yeah, I'm using light polyfill. Like I said, you want to make sure that hinge point really has a solid um, like gap in the filler. So what I do is I pinch this space, and I pinch all of the filling out. And then it can go all the way down more comfortably. I don't do a jogless join. Don't judge me. I don't. It's going in someone's pants. It doesn't matter. So, so yeah. Okay, so really stuff it in there. If you kind of, how do I word this without it just sounding like raunchy? If you keep a good grip on what the size of the project is supposed to be when you are filling it vigorously, then you don't get too much stretching in it, because if you do, then you get a lot of stretching of the stitches, and then um, you see more polyfill. I am close to the end of this bag, and now I have the 32-ounce bags. Um, those are big, and if I go to treatment, I got to figure out how I'm gonna get polyfill in. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, so so yeah, so stuffing it as full as possible. Don't be stingy at the end, because we want it to be, because like that, honestly, so at 5 inches or at 7 inches, that is the part that if a person wears it, they will feel kind of between their legs, and that can be very affirming. So don't skimp at the end and be like, oh well, I filled it really full right here. This isn't the problem. So this shows bulk, but it shows bulk for other people. The person wearing it doesn't experience really anything from it being, like super big or anything like that. I mean, they do get a bigger like package, but the for like gender dysphoria, and that involves like feeling like you have um, it growing out of you. This is the part that I say is most focused on. So don't be stingy. That's my long story short. Don't be stingy. Okay. So now we are going to take. I'm just going to go ahead and skip over to my clover because I always end up here anyways. So why not? Okay, and then I'm going to do back loop only stitches all the way around. And that gives it a nice ridge, and you can use that whether it's cut or uncut. Um, but when you do cut, I think this is the perfect um, like it lines up where you should put your ridge, and I think it looks really good. Um, for me, it's really important to be able to give back to my community, and I think a lot of people feel that way. So, speaking of giving back to my community, I'm currently doing 2 fundraisers because I'm a crazy person, and that is a medical fact. But so the first one is going on in September. It is for To Write Love on Her Arms. This is a fundraiser that this is a foundation that works with people with addiction, self-harm, and suicidal ideation. This one is very near and dear to my heart as I am going through 2 of the 3. And they do a lot of great work, and I really want to support them. They had like a step challenge, but like I couldn't. I fell off. I was too depressed, and I don't know what I'm going to be able to finish. And I was gonna do a if we get to my goal, which is $300, do a giveaway, a yarn giveaway. So I was really excited about that. I love doing giveaways. But I also want to like balance it with like helping other people, because I know that there are a lot of sites out there, and no shade, where their primary function is to do giveaways, and that's how they get a lot of followers. Which no shame in doing that. That's totally fine. But like that's not how I run my channel. When I do giveaways, I like to balance out like the kind of like lushness of uh of doing a giveaway with charity, with helping others. Because sometimes like when you're doing just like giveaways, like to me they feel a little bit like people grabby, like you're grabbing subscribers without really, I don't know the words to use to like not offend people who do that, because it's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. But yeah, so and I know there are a lot of people who do a lot of things in addition to their giveaways, and that's that's fine too. Um but so I never want to like shit talk what other people are like, whatever method of like getting subscribers, because like that's the kind of the point of a YouTube channel, like no matter how you put it. But but yeah, so no shade at all. But I let me start doing my decreases. But yeah, so I want to try to get to $300 to write "Love on Her Arms," um, to start to get to a fundraiser, but also to help people in need. Now, the second one I'm doing really starts in October, but you can donate now if this is a cause close to you. It is for Susan G. Komen breast cancer awareness, and it will be some kind of crafting challenge. They haven't released a lot of details, but it's just the middle of September, and October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is what Susan G. Komen works on. Um, so, uh, so, if you want to donate there, they're both on Facebook. They are not anywhere else. I'm not taking Venmo or any Cash App donations and like sending them that way. I tried that with the auction, and it was just hellacious. Like everyone made my life hell in that auction. I wanted to be like, you know what, fuck all of you. I was really close to losing my cool, which I have such a firm grasp on, um, as you know. So, I'm doing both of those fundraisers. So if you'd like to donate to either of them, like I said, the first one is for suicide and self harm and addiction awareness, and the second one is for breast cancer awareness. So please consider donating if you can, if you want to. I'm not going to force anyone to donate. That's not my style. Um, I, I don't. I'm not going to guilt you into it. I'm not going to, you know, just if you can, if you want to, that's what we'll do. So at the very end, I kind of make my last ditch effort to stuff a little bit of like right here at the end. I try to stuff a little bit into the tip just to get it nice and shapely. And you'll find you need more than you think always. You start like poking around in there, you're like, wow. Okay. So then I'm gonna do supposed to do like decreases all the way around, but I always find that I never really need that many decreases to get to the end because I just kind of do like an amigurumi, like sew the thread around, pull it tight, and it gets nice and um, clean, clean looking. But so I just kind of spend my time doing my decreases, and then I'll pull it over the top and see, like, is that kind of what I want it to look like? Is that too tight? If it's too tight, we add another decrease. Um, and then now that it's like comfortably setting over, I'm going to cut my yarn, pull it through, and I'm going to start going through, weaving the yarn. Now, this isn't something that you want to just like pull tight. You want to consider that it needs to have like a shape to it, and so you can't just go buck wild with it. You need to be considerate of the shape of everything. So just take your time. It really is like I find these final touches very calming because I can kind of like do whatever I want. Um, and if I make a mistake, I can just undo it really easily. So once I reach the end of that work, I find the bottom of the shaft. So you would know this by because of the placement of the stitch marker, the placement of the ridges that you're going to put the tab in. Um, so you're going to go under on the underside, and you're going to put your hook through, and you're going to pull your yarn. Now, sometimes if you pull a little bit too hard or just anything, you snag on something, it can misshape your tip. So just kind of pop it around a little bit, and thread comes out the underside. Now we're going to work on the definition. This is optional. So I just go through, I don't do a slip knot on this one because I don't want to add any extra bulk. And you go through every stitch around that ridge, and you do I think I've done a single crochet before, and I've done a slip stitch before. To me, they're really interchangeable for this project, so just do what you want. At one point, you're gonna have to like jump a stitch because of how the spiral is, but it's not that big of a deal because it's still on the side. Um, so yeah, just going around trying to make sure I don't pull a lot of stuffing out when I go in and out of um, the yarn. I want to just catch yarn. I don't want to catch stuffing, pull it out, or anything like that. So keep close to the surface of the project, and like you don't like dig your hook way in, and that helps. If that makes any sense, I don't know. Okay, so it's a T. I love tea. I've gone through phases where I like drink a lot of tea, and then I don't drink a lot of tea, and just kind of getting back into the tea phase. But it's hard when it's hot outside. Just like I can drink all the coffee I want when it's hot outside because coffee is my life force. But tea, on the other hand, it's like boiling water. It just get it away from me. Okay, so now I have reached my last stitch. I'm going to cut it with a little tail. It doesn't need to be that long. Pull through. It looks like this. And so I'm going to go through, and I have two ends from when I started and when I finished this detail. So I'm just going to pull those through again on the bottom, so that when they, because cotton frays, so you're going to cut it and it's going to fray a little bit. Even if it's underneath things, it still shows. It's super annoying, if I'm being honest. Okay, so um, yeah, I have the head detail, have these extra strings. I like to just cut everything at once in one swoop. So I'm going to rewrap the outside so I get it nice and long, and then I go around the outside and do this. A lot of people put like hair clips in it, which is genius, or bobby pins. But I don't have any of those because I don't have any hair. So yeah, do what you want. That'd probably be easier. Okay, so I'm going to now I will do my slip knot in pink, because that's what this is. And oh wait, I need to yarn over and put through the space because I'm going to do a double crochet, and then I'm going to put 7 double crochets in this. So I talked about the importance of the tab earlier, so I'm not going to talk about it right now, but just know that it's important to add it to your piece so that um, you can have a proper fold and comfort to it. So I'm going to chain up 2, and I'm going to turn my work. And then I'm going to do 7 double crochets, or 6 double crochets down the line, because the chain 2 counts as a double crochet. Okay. So you hear my wrist crack. So I have. I'm not even gonna tie it up or anything because I'm just gonna sew right up, cut it, and I'm gonna put it in the basket. And then I take my hook and I go in and out of every other stitch, and just weave in that end. I know I could use a needle, but I just don't care that much. Also, I find with cotton, because it does tend to fray so much and split, that it's actually a lot easier to use my hook because it's not as sharp as a needle, obviously. Okay. So there. Okay, so got that one. And make sure you don't tighten it too much because it'll start warping the shape of it. Just like every time you sew something in, you kind of want to make sure you're not pulling too tight as to disrupt the shape. Unless that's your goal, then do whatever you want. Okay. So I kind of stretch it out a little bit, and then okay. Just wants to come out. Come on. I want to be done with this. Remember how I said I had fun with this? This part is grandly annoying when I am just like. I don't think grandly annoying is a phrase, but whatever. Okay. Just come the fuck on. Oh, whatever. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to snip. So I'm going to take my stitch marker out. I'm going to cut the 2 strands that are from the tab, and then the 3 that are from. You can pull them a little tight when you cut them so that they'll kind of shrink back into the work once you let them go. So this is a completed trans packer. This is a completed rainbow packer. I make a lot of packers, so if you want packers, go to my Etsy, which is Ian's Weirdo Emporium. I don't even have it listed in my description because I figure if you're watching this, you're probably more likely a crocheter. One thing I noticed in my description box is I tried to put a link to the packer pattern that I use, and it is free to use, and I wanted to share it, but the link was like kind of fucked up, and I've been referencing this for like months, and the link has been fucked up. So I tried to put a new one in there, but it's really long and it makes me really nervous. So if you try the link and it doesn't work, let me know and I'll try to. I like requested the ability to share, but I could share the link anyways, but then the link was really long. So I don't know. Google Docs is weird. Just and Google Office is weird. So yeah, that's what that is. So the next one I need to make is in cream, and I got a little ball of it right here. Oh dear Lord. So I'm making 7 inches. So this will probably be just enough, but I do have more of this color. So so I have 2 colors, and their names are different on my Etsy, but one is cream. This is actually the color cream. It is, as you can tell, it's very light toned in complexion, if this was your skin tone. And it's a little yellow. So it fits most like light skinned people just fine. And then there is the color jute, which is a little bit darker. It's more neutral, but it's not that much darker. So I've had trouble finding proper skin tones and finding them in like all in the same line. Like I want to be able to be like, okay, sugar and cream, I can buy every color I need. But the reason why is like there are some things like there's a color that the knit and crochet, the KNC, that is at Joann. Like there's a cotton that is a really great color, but it's normally pretty expensive. So I can't get it on sale, so it's kind of disruptive to have to go get that instead of like the sugar and cream. And I don't know, like I'm also like very wary of that line of like just like the Kanzi products because I just like I feel like they seem to like come and go, like they're just not permanent fixtures or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're like a grand experiment or something. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I forgot. I need to work with my ergonomic hook. So yeah, yeah, I want more skin colors, and then I got some of the minikins, the Premier minikins, and I didn't look at the specs. I just looked at the colors, and I was like, it's cotton, it's good, yeah. Turns out it's 50 cotton, 50 acrylic, which is not what I need. I need pure cotton. And then it also is a 2-weight instead of a 4-weight. So it is a problem all across the board. And I was so excited to offer more skin tones. And now I'm like, I can't. And they're expensive. Like, they're not cost effective at all. Even if you get them on one of the websites that they're sold off of, like Mary Maxim or what's the other one? Hirschner's. I get a lot from Hirschner's. Turns out they don't carry as many colors as Mary Maxim, at least on the spun colors. Spun colors, they carry a lot more colors. Okay, so I'm putting 3 single crochets into this last stitch, and then I'm turning the piece so that I'm gonna go over the tail, and I'm gonna sew over that. So you want to do 8 single crochets, and it's easy to miss because they're a little hard to see, but you can definitely feel them if you like if you're tactile and are used to feeling your way through stitches, because there's some yarns that like really you just rely on your touch to feel the stitches, or you have to put stitch markers in every single stitch, which is super annoying. So anywho, so I'm going to cut the extra tail of yarn so it will be weaved right in. So some people like to burn their ends of yarn. That does not work on cotton. So they do that to melt it all together so it won't fray or like stick out or whatever. They like burn it and then they like push it with the end of the lighter. And so it won't do that. But cotton is a natural fiber. It is not plastic. So don't do that because you'll just burn your cotton and that'll be weird. So just so you know. Okay. And then in the last stitch yet? No. Okay, so in the last stitch, you're gonna put a single crochet increase. So you're going to put 2 of those single crochets in there. And that's what it looks like to start whatever this is. So let me see the dates, because I try to really keep track of those. Okay. Sorry, I just get distracted. I'm having a lot of anxiety right now, and I'm really trying to like cover it up with like humor and like talking, but I'm just like, ugh. Okay, so I serve some of these addresses I've seen before, but it doesn't show them as a repeat customer, so it's really weird. Maybe it's if they have an account or not. I don't know. So yeah, so this is my third one. This is due. So this one is due this 16. Wait, what? Oh, this is when they ordered them. I don't like this. In progress. I hate this new. Oh, I hate this new app. The Etsy seller app is so fucking annoying. Because usually it shows me just the date that it's due, but now it's showing me the date that it was ordered, which is not super helpful because then I have to go and manually find the 2-week mark. This one was ordered on the 16th, so 2 weeks from the 16th, so probably about the 30th. God, that's super annoying. Does it show anywhere when it's due? Oh, it's right there. I have to scroll up just a little bit, and it says ship by September 29th. And this one says ship by the 22nd. So we should be able to get these out soon. And then I usually do 2 at a time because I send them in my mailbox, and 2 kind of fill up the space. So, and then also there's 2 7-inch packers. So those are going to take a lot of space. So I need to make sure that I send these separately. So yeah, so let me see my listings to make sure I have enough. I feel like with this cardigan, I just need to bounce it down to 1. I don't think I could do 2 cardigans at once, especially with October and Halloween coming up. So let's see. Okay, let me see. Okay, so do I have my packers, or did I sell out of my packers? Okay, I did sell out of my packers. Okay, so let's see. Sold out. Apply. Yes, I did sell out of packers. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more to the listing. Because I don't think I could do like more than that when I already got this going on, but I am doing a sale, so I want to keep stock. And pretty much only my packers sell. Like everything else doesn't really sell, but like my packers sell. So, wait, this is sold out. Oh, I think it's because I just like don't really buyers April. Oh, it's a custom listing. Okay, because I have the other one up there, but okay. So yeah, this is my process of doing shit. Um, I'm like I said, I'm releasing some pre-recorded videos soon, so please watch those. Do spend time on them. Even if they don't look edited, they might not be edited, but like I do spend a lot of time making sure that they're right. I pause and stop and restart and all that stuff. So it would mean a lot to me if you watch my pre-recorded videos. I know they're not as lively as the lives, but they're still fun, and I think we can learn a lot from them. I like learning different things, so hopefully you do too. I will talk to you later and love you. Bye.